And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sportsport. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sportsport here on a Monday. Barnes, Tony, Danny, once again, the weekend after 4th of July. What's going on, fellas?
Not much, dude. You said it.
Not the weekend, but the week. Sorry, yeah. Crazy.
Oh, yeah, the weekend after 4th of July. Right?
It's coming up, right?
Oh, you mean it's coming up? That's right.
No,
yeah, this is the week, dude.
Yeah.
Matthew Ryan already calling in, dude. Give us a second, Matthew.
1 second.
But yeah, dude, great weekend, obviously. Lovely holiday. The Fam Bam, Uncle Richie all weekend. Had a great time, but definitely, stoked to be back in studio, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Any highlights of the Uncle Richie weekend?
I mean, dude, the whole weekend was one big highlight, dude. I know you probably will scoff at this, dude, but for the first time in my life, dude, I played pickleball. My aunt and my uncle.
No golf?
No, we did golf on Sunday. Pickleball was first Saturday.
So you want to just skip to that part?
Oh, come on, dude. I will say, Brian, I had a good time.
Yeah, no, that's good for you.
No, yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah.
It was a good workout. Got a good sweat, dude. Scorching hot.
Yeah.
Even though it was 10 a.m. on the courts, dude. But yes, we did have golf on Sunday. That was. I had some pretty good shots, dude. The driver was working quite well, dude.
Awesome.
I had a couple drives, like just straight middle fairway, nice, dude. And it's so funny because, like, then you get like some confidence, in your driver, and then you're like, all right, like I'm gonna try and like really hammer this one, and then it just
right into the ground,
right into the fucking woods, dude. Sliced. So I got a little humbled quick, dude, but had some good chips, some good putts. So yeah, dude, and the food obviously delicious all weekend, dude. I guess the highlight, honestly, was probably the barbecue I went to July 4th. No hot dogs, but catered food, sausage, peppers, onions, dude, and the sauce. Made a hero. Had some chicken on the bone that was delicious, and the sides, Brian.
Sides, dude.
Macaroni salad, coleslaw, potato salad, dude. Roasted potatoes. Oh my God, it was so good, dude.
That's awesome.
What about you, dude? What are your highlights?
Oh, I mean, yeah, great weekend. Got to Rhode Island Thursday night. Great seeing my 3 nephews and niece, and then saw some of my other family on Friday in Portsmouth, Rhode Island. They just got a new in-ground pool.
Ooh.
So it was in that all day with the kids, and the barbecue food was just amazing. So an amazing time then. And then did beach, Saturday and yesterday. Beaches in Rhode Island are unbelievable. And then the golf yesterday morning, had a 7:20 tee time with my dad. It was a great time. Good to get it there out there early.
Yeah.
And it's nice. The course right down the street from the house a couple years ago was in pretty rough shape. But they've put a lot of money into it, so it's in good shape.
Expensive course to golf at?
Has some water views. I mean, not necessarily. I mean, I think people who don't play golf a lot would say, "Oh my God," but it's like $80-$90.
Oh, it's not that bad. I was kind of expecting like 100 or more. To be honest.
No, because it's not. Yeah, it's not like that crazy. You know what I mean? But it's just nice that you have a couple holes that are you could see the ocean in the background. I mean, that's awesome.
Dude.
So really enjoyed that. It was just a full weekend. Spent a couple hours at the beach yesterday, and then next thing you know, you're home at 10 o'clock. So it was just really a full weekend, but great time, great camaraderie. Listen, I mean, at least Yankees won yesterday, but that was probably the only thing that was missing was just taking that serious. It, probably would have been a little different. If they had obviously had an opportunity to do that Friday's game. Unfortunately, it just kind of fell apart late there, but of course we'll talk about that. I forgot to ask, what was the final tally on the golf?
So we only did 9.
Only did
And
9.
it was best ball because we were doing like the family versus inter family kind of like scrimmages here.
Best ball
3v3
2 or 3v3?
3v3. Yeah.
Okay.
Dude. So, and I was telling Daddy before the show too. There, I guess my aunt plays like an interesting way when they do best ball, typically where you can only take 3 drives from a player, so you can't rely on some person just to whack the ball.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool because you kind of got to strategize a little bit. But we shot 37 on the front 9, so we were 1 over on the front 9. Which honestly for me, I thought it was really good. My uncle Richie had a great actual like chip in from a bunker. Actually, dude, that was pretty sick.
Greenside bunker.
Greenside bunker.
There you go. Off the stick or no?
What do you mean, like off the stick?
Like to go in from the bunker?
No, short rolled in.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. And we had a couple like good shots, like to save par. So that was pretty solid, and we did win. It was me, my uncle, my cousin's husband.
Free beers? Or?
No beers on the course, dude. Actually,
no. I'm saying for winning. Was there any type of?
Yeah, dude. Of course, dude.
Yeah.
The losing team buys.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. And it was great too. My cousins have children of their own now, so that was kind of cool to see my second cousins, I guess. But yeah, dude. Great time. Dialed for golf right now. Like I want to go golfing right now.
Yeah. No. Exactly. So you see why I play 364 days a year. You know?
Literally, dude.
Exactly. Got to take Christmas off.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say with a 1 day.
No, that's great. And how was the course?
In good condition, I guess. I would say above that. I guess they had a shit ton of rain all week.
Okay.
So it was a little wet. But still, I mean, they keep it nice, I will say. It was funny though, because they double booked every tee.
Oh, Jesus.
Like
So it took you 3 hours to play 9 holes?
No, it wasn't really that. We were probably waiting for maybe 30 minutes.
Okay.
And then once we got going, it was pretty smooth.
All right, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go. But yeah, nothing like golf this time of year.
People were pissed though about the double tee times.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
No, I mean, I'm the worst out there because I don't know. I know I am ridiculous. Like I just want everybody to play like turbo, but I just find it. Like just so annoying. Like why when we're in the carts, like can't we like, oh, my ball's a little over there. I'll get out of the cart and be ready to hit my ball after you hit yours. Like why is it so hard to do that? Why does everybody have to like loaf around the course? Like I just feel like that's not too much to ask. And yeah, it just drives me crazy. And I truly believe this, even with foursomes, full course, everybody playing ready golf. Golf, I don't care what course it is. Okay, maybe if it's like a PGA course, a little longer, might take a while, whatever. But most like public courses like should take 3 to 3.5 hours. I think if everybody was actually playing ready golf. Another thing that I think they should do, and I think sure there's certain circumstances with like going in someone's lie or whatever. But like I think everybody once you're on the green should just putt out. Like it shouldn't be I putt, then I mark, then he goes, but then he marks, but then he putts, and then we go back to his ball. It's just like if everybody just putted through, I think that would also make things a lot quicker as well.
Oh, definitely, dude. But I mean, who does that though?
I mean, we do it sometimes. Yeah. I mean, but right. I mean, why does it make sense? Plus, I mean, too, like if you're not like, you just kind of like a casual round, like do you really think like, just cause like I slightly step where you're putting that it's really going to change the putt? I don't know. I just think, yeah, sure. If you're like, full on like plopping down, it's going to change it. But you lightly going over it, I really highly doubt that.
I don't know. Maybe you walking over it, I don't know.
Well, I mean, listen, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fine. But yeah, no. Definitely the golf is the best for sure. Any highlights for you, Danny, over the weekends?
Yeah, it was a fun weekend. Did a lot, got a little burnt up at the base of my neck.
Me too, as always.
Played bucket golf for the first time.
Bucket golf, what's that?
So instead of like having to go to a course, you have these like 6 red buckets and you play with like wiffle balls, and then so you can set it up wherever you want. So we played it at my aunt's house on this big hill they have in the backyard. So, and then yeah, just played a bunch of pool basketball yesterday. So
that's
tired
awesome.
me out.
Yeah,
me and my middle child brother against the 3 youngest cousins. So that got rough and rowdy real quick.
Yeah, no, that's the best. The pool basketball, you really can't beat it. For sure. Yeah, no, that's a good time. It's funny that you said like you were talking about sunburn, right? Or no?
Yeah.
No, because the same thing happened to me. We were at the pool all day Friday, and it's like I applied 5 times, and yet like my face, my back, just absolutely torched. Like it's like it's like why even put on something lotion at that point? You know, it's annoying. But hey, it was great weather because I know last year and really like a lot of times on these holiday weekends, like the weather's been shit, threat of rain, no threat of rain the whole weekend. So I think that was big.
That was great, dude.
So yeah, just had a great time. You know, and now it's just back to it. Has Matthew Ryan tried to call like 4 times or no?
Oh yeah, literally like 4 times, dude. I think, I don't know.
Everything's all right.
But I mean, no, everything I'm sure is fine, dude. I'm sure, but like now, I guess since we're kind of into the show a little bit, next time he does call, I guess
we could pick up, Matthew.
We could pick up now.
But let's start with Ernie's number 1 buddy.
Oh my gosh, dude. Oh yeah, so let's do the comments first, dude. So first off, you mentioned it, Michael Buckta here. He's very proud to announce. And honestly, when I first read this first part of the sentence, there would be something very different here. Because this weekend, very late night, wee hours of the night, discovered Ernie loves Harry Potter. That's something I didn't even know, Michael. And we chatted about it till 1:06 a.m. this weekend. Oh, baby, he's pretty hyped. Brian Barnaby in here with a couple of gripes. He thinks it win yesterday or anything. Having Alonso on the cover, though, ... And then, of course, we do get Michael Buckta jumping on that train as well. Let's get Alonso off that cover. Mets aren't New York's team still. Brian Barber says Bellinger deserves to be on the cover, Michael. Either that or Mets Subway Series banner for splitting. And then he goes Michael Buckta saying, let's just say Yankees over the Mets on a sports cover any day of the week. Tony take notes. Not everyone's a Met fan. Ernie says, yeah, dude. Yeah. And then Josh B laughing at the title. I don't know why it's such a big deal. And then Ernie saying, what up, fam? Michael Buckta saying, what's up to Ernie? Matthew Ryan, classic. F the Mets. Pickleball is lame, he says.
There we go, Matthew.
That's not true.
And which is, it honestly, dude, like I didn't understand some of the complexities, like the rules, like how you can't stay in the, like go over the kitchen line, stuff like that. Like
the kitchen line.
That's what I mean, dude.
But that's the point right there. A sport should not have a kitchen line. Like, what type of phrase is that? A kitchen line? Are we cooking?
I think this is like your offsides.
Well,
thing
he also no one calls it
dude.
the kitchen line. You can't be in the kitchen. Like that's all. That's what.
But
it
in the
says.
kitchen, are we not cooking in the kitchen? Why are we saying kitchen though?
Because pickleball is actually like so much fun. Like
I had a lot of fun.
If you don't give it a chance, you can't.
No,
like,
you know what it is. It's just I just want to golf. So just to me, playing pickleball is just taking away from that. And that's really just where it starts and ends for me. You know what I mean? I understand people will like it. I know it's a good workout, but I just, at the end of the day, I mean, Tony even knows with the golf, and I am like, no pressure here, but it's just like one or the other. You could play on the best pickleball court and get instruction from like the number 1 player in the world, or Tiger Woods you could play with as well. It's like, which one would you rather do, honestly?
I mean, I guess at this point, golfing, yeah. If Tiger Woods was going to give me a lesson, sure. But like, I'm not like, there's no comparison. We're not comparing.
Well,
these
but
two
isn't
things.
there a comparison though? Because like on the weekend, for instance, like you're not really going to do both in the day. You probably do one. No,
you know, it's funny you mentioned that because
you did both in the same day. Normally, though, that wouldn't be the case. Tight schedule.
Typically, yeah. No. It's just because my aunt and uncle, they do that literally every day of their lives now because they're like retired and they're just chilling. So it's like 10 a.m. pickleball. You go home, shower, you hang out, and then it's like 1 o'clock tea time.
Then also, too, and I know, again, this sounds ridiculous, like the pace of play and stuff, but I'd rather just play 36 at that point.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm going to sit here. I'm going to say I had a good time. It was a lot of fun, and maybe it's just because I played with my family. I mean, they're very competitive, but it was a good time, and they're obviously my aunt and uncle are actually really good too. So it was getting pretty hot and heavy in terms of competitiveness. Speaking of being competitive, my mother says, "Hi, fellas."
Good morning, Mary.
Good morning. My dad had that wrist surgery, carpal tunnel, recovering quite well. Stitches.
On the pickleball court.
No. He was not on the pickleball court. No.
No, but I'm glad he's recovering well.
Yeah. No, he's doing great. And then we have Michael Buckta here talking some smack. Beaches, Rhode Island are not unbelievable, Brian.
So what I would say there, Michael, is, we live in the Northeast. We don't live in Southern California. So yeah, they're not going to be the same, but like you have to go with what's the best here. And compared to the shit beaches in Connecticut, the beaches in Rhode Island are pretty nice for here. But of course, yes, they'll never be over the elusive Southern California beaches, Michael.
And then he doubles down though, says New England beaches are shit.
Yeah, but I mean, at least like Rhode Island's the ocean as well. Like,
yeah, I was saying. I mean, Rhode Island beaches are really nice.
Yeah. But like compared to the other beaches, sure. But for around here, I think they are probably the nicest in the Northeast.
I would say so, dude. Yeah. I mean, I guess like Hammonasset's kind of nice, but like the water is like
beat. Hammonasset sucks.
Like there's nothing like the water's just still.
Hammonasset is terrible. All the beaches like in Westerly are good. The one I went to yesterday was nice. It's called East Beach. It's right next to this famous hotel, the Ocean House. Like there's even a sign like, oh, this is one of the nicest beaches like in the world or whatever. But yeah, just the sand, the water, you got the cliffs, the rocks, and like I don't care about this, but everyone gets around. Oh, Taylor Swift's house is up there. But it's like, yeah, enough with that nonsense.
Taylor Swift, really,
dude. I'm just trying to give you like a location of where it is right by Watch Hill. Matt's been there. He said it was awesome. So Narragansett too. I've been to that one. That's nice. But Rhode Island in general, I think, is a underrated state. Like you don't really think about it. It's a smaller state. But it's pretty freaking nice, honestly.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I've been there a few times. Always had a good time.
Yeah.
Speaking of always having a good time, too, Matthew Ryan, Mets fans says are annoying here.
I mean,
come on,
really,
stop.
I can't.
And then he says, which is probably ridiculous. I called by accident the last 3 times. Try to call my boss from work first, but then he says he will call in later on.
Okay.
And what are you going to call in? Are you calling out today, Matthew Ryan? You playing hooky, dude? And then Michael Buckta, Harry Potter, GOAT, read all the books, watched all the movies. And he has been binge watching it, excuse me. And then Matthew Ryan does confirm he would also do Tiger Woods. And then speaking of that, we do have him calling in. So
there we go.
I'll patch him through.
Get him up there
in a second. Yeah, get him up there. Yeah.
I actually have a question for him when he answers the phone.
Oh boy! All right. Here we go. Stand by.
Matthew, how was the 4th of July weekend, buddy?
Is that your question?
No.
It was great. It was just except for watching the shitty Mets kick the Yankees' ass this weekend. That was terrible.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I mean, I don't really think that was the case. I mean, obviously Saturday got away, but Friday, I mean, if Luke Weaver doesn't, shit himself on the mound, we win that game and win the series and the season series. But that's another story. I was just gonna ask you. I think I know what you're gonna say. But what do you think is more? Because you said pickleball's lame. More lame, the Mets and their fans.
Tiger Woods.
No. But the Mets and their fans or pickleball?
Pickleball's more lame.
Wow, that's interesting. I thought you were going to say.
Have you ever played pickleball? Have you ever played pickleball, Matthew Ryan? Have you ever played?
Yes, I have. It sucked.
I think maybe it's just because you sucked.
Listen.
But I think you kind of
are not going to make the.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, stop. But they're going to make the playoffs. You're not making the playoffs. You sound a little under the weather, Matthew. You're partying too hard.
That's why he's calling out.
No sleep this weekend. Playing Star Wars all day yesterday.
Too much fun at a party.
You what?
Okay. I just want to let you know, Tony, that your Mets. I was surprised that they beat the Yankees. I really was.
I bet.
They suck. They suck.
Well, obviously not, dude.
Completely suck.
They don't suck.
I mean, Matthew, also though we'll get into it, but I mean, obviously the reason that they won the series over the weekend is because like we were basically pitching from a pitching machine. You know what I mean? Like no one pitched well. And Fried,
like we don't have our best pitchers, and yet they're pulling out all their best pitchers to
What are you talking?
No, it's not that. They pitch better, obviously, and they hit better. But I just think they hit better because our pitching was just atrocious. Like just leaving, I don't know. It seemed like very predictable.
Suck it, Matthew Ryan.
We'll talk about that another time. But yeah, I mean, obviously, at least we won yesterday. I think that really
we won yesterday.
Yeah.
We won yesterday,
and we hit well. We did hit well. We should have won Friday, and we did hit well. We've hit well really the past week, so at least that's good. And I think we're going to have to probably acquire a pitcher. We'll talk more about this, but Schittler will get an opportunity, it looks like, I think on Wednesday. But I think we should still just acquire somebody at the deadline because we can't rely on Stroman, and hopefully he'll be good, but that's not a certainty coming off the injury.
I just don't want Stroman anywhere near the mound right now.
He's going to have to be, though, with all these injuries, with Clark Schmidt, with the Tommy John. He has to, unfortunately, but that's more to the point of, let's acquire a starter and maybe even look at 2 starters, maybe try some diamonds in the rough.
Let's get some good starters. Let's get some good help.
Yeah.
Because we are floundering. We're just above water. Help.
Yep. And also the bullpen, I mean, needs to be just completely reconfigured. I think they rushed Luke Weaver back from the injury. I think Ian Hamilton is terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so those are a couple things, but yeah, so it has to be a busy trade deadline, and it's like I've been saying it for years.
I think for the Mets, they need to also worry about their pitching and their bats.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, they hit very well, but then again, like I said, I don't know how much of that was just like the pitching for us was just awful. So it's just like we're putting it on a T, basically. But yeah.
I was almost saying that they had T. It was like T-ball. It was called T-ball. They got lucky. It was T-ball.
Yeah.
Matthew, did you call your boss yet?
Yes, I did.
But before you go, Matthew, anybody you'd like to see them acquire before the trade deadline?
Trying to think, who's going to be there.
I mean, for bullpen, I would love Felix Bautista. I think let's just get like the best reliever we can. Like none of this fucking reclamation project. Let's just get with somebody that we know is going to be rock solid, and I think he would be great.
Yeah, well, we need a third baseman too.
Need a third baseman, yes. Suarez, I think Josh B shared this in the TCA chat or JD's chat yesterday. That is a target of the Yankees. So this is when Cashman, because I think Cashman sucks, but like for him to show me that he's a quality general manager, don't be cheap. Like clearly, like there's been some rough patches here. There are needs. Fill the holes. Don't go cheap. Don't go bargain bin shopping. Let's see it. You know what I mean? Show us what you got, right? I mean,
just show us that we're a serious team. I want to be serious.
Right. Exactly.
Not a joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
We look like a joke right now. We lost to the Mets. We look like a joke.
Yeah. Yep. And like I said, I think definitely need a starter.
That's a dig at Tony, too. That's a dig at Tony. We look like a joke.
We're going to talk about this more, Matthew. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for the call. Hope you feel better.
Bye.
We'll talk to you.
Whoa.
And then we got a couple more comments here.
Oh,
come on,
dude. Yes, we have some more comments here coming in here. We got Ernie actually in the house, finally recognizing Bukta. Says, what's up, Ernie? Hope you enjoyed your 4th of July weekend just as much as we did. He says, fish boy to John Pog and beep beep here to Josh B, who I also hope Josh B enjoyed his holiday weekend.
Absolutely. Yeah, you really hope he enjoyed it and had a great day.
Yeah, dude, good luck with the
a little facetious, Tony.
I really hope you get the job, man. And then speaking of facetious, here's Kev Dew. Let's go. We want the smoke. All 3 games were great this weekend. He says Matty Ice can choke on it. And then he says the Mets pitching was pieced together this weekend, which it was. I mean, I was pretty surprised that the Mets didn't give up 30 runs this weekend with some of the pitchers they were trotting out.
Yeah. So work to be done. But let's talk. Oh, actually, before we just quickly, because we're not going to spend too much time. John Deere. Brian Campbell, second win of the season here, 18 under par, wins in a 1-hole playoff over Emiliano Grillo, getting a birdie there on the playoff hole number 18. And you know, kind of an interesting season for him. You know, I was listening to some PGA Tour radio because I'm not listening to DNR all summer because Dan Grass is on every day. But, you know, they're saying, is he like, they're saying like, maybe he'll be considered for the Ryder Cup. But then again, you know, I think these are the first 2 career wins and he has no top 30 finishes outside of the wins. He's the shortest hitter on the tour. So probably no Ryder Cup in his future, but we'll see how he plays, you know, the rest of the way. And like we mentioned, he beat Grillo, so Grillo finished second. And then you had Kevin Roy, David Lipsky tied for 3rd. Carson Young, Lucas Glover, Jacob Bridgerman, Matt Kuchar, Kurt Kitayama, Max Homa all tie at 16 under for 5th place. Nick Dunlap tied for 11th at 15 under, as well as Siwoo Kim. Ricky Fowler with a tied for 18th at 14 under. Davis Thompson, who, you know, made a run early in this tournament, the defending champ, finishes tied for 18th in his title defense. Thor Bjornsson, 13 under with Knapp as well. So kind of went the way, you know, that we expected, you know, the birdie fest. And, you know, obviously Campbell is a surprise as the winner. And it is amazing too. Like, I know we joke like, the wife, this and that. But Lucas Glover, you know, has been competing in these tournaments. I believe he had a top 5 at the Rocket Mortgage the previous week. What he's doing at, somewhat of an advanced age. I mean, 45 years old. A lot of guys lose their tour cards and are hanging around to get on the Champions Tour. 5 top 10s this year. They're saying he could be a sleeper for the Ryder Cup. And they were playing some of his comments on PGA Tour radio this morning. He was kind of talking about the whole live situation. And even though he said, like, he acknowledges that it would really help with the TV deals coming up in 5 years, that personally, because the guys like Rahm and DeChambeau and Koepka and Neiman abandoned the tour, that he wouldn't want to let them back because they abandoned them years ago. But then again, it's just like, I think cooler heads need to prevail with that, because I mean, it's definitely would be better for the health of the game to have those guys competing on a daily basis. But it was interesting. I mean, he was honest to say that.
Do you think there should be any type of like reprimand?
Just pay a fine then, and just move on with it. You know what I mean? It's
like your full live contract.
No, not something like that. But maybe, I don't know, a couple $1 million, whatever. Just to show, like, that you had to pay for what you did. Because it definitely, put a damper on things for a little bit. But I think the PGA Tour has been just fine. So I thought that was interesting, but a lot of interesting stuff coming up. We got the Scottish starting on Thursday, obviously open next week, last major of the season, and then the Ryder Cup in September. So exciting stuff for sure. And we'll talk about the Scottish on Wednesday.
Hell yeah, dude.
But let's go now to the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it! Yep. And Alonso cracks one. The Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So we already talked about it. The Mets taking 2 out of 3 this weekend, winning the first 2 games of the Subway Series. Yankees winning yesterday to even things up this season at 3 apiece. And, the only time these teams can meet again this year would be if they were fortunate enough to make the World Series.
Percentage right now, you think, both of them?
15%. I mean, just because it's like, you got to go through playoffs and stuff. There's a lot of moving pieces to get there. And
of course.
What are these teams doing at the trade deadline? I mean, I think it's evident that both need to make a good amount of moves. Will those moves be made? I mean, I think that remains to be seen, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I think there's, like you said, I mean, there's so many different directions both teams could go in, so many different variables. You talk about variables here of them making the World Series. I mean, variables about, if certain pitchers or players coming back from injury, are they going to be performing? And then, obviously that's going to dictate a lot of where these teams go in terms of what direction. Because like I said, you can go, at least for the Mets anyway, you can do bullpen, you can do starter, you can do center fielder. And I'm sure, honestly, I'm sure you feel somewhat similar. Obviously, maybe third base for Yankees, but bullpen, starting rotation, something you want to bolster.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and it's been nice because the hitting was a problem for a while, but the hitting seems to have returned, which is great. Judge with some home runs this weekend, which is awesome. Dominguez with that 2 home run game on Friday, you love to see that. But injuries rearing their ugly head again. The Clark Schmidt, Tommy John news. It's tough because you think about the rotation that you started spring training with. You got 2 guys left in Rodon and Max Fried. Yes, Heel will come back. But I mean, that's kind of tough. I mean, to piece it together. And Warren obviously didn't pitch well. Against the Mets this weekend. You're waiting. I think Yarbrough could come back soon. Stroman, you don't really want to pitch, but you don't have a choice right now. So just interesting what happens with Schittler. He's done great in AAA, and the Boone's being coy. You're not officially confirming, but it's like I think anyway, he'll definitely start. Wednesday. And you think about the playoffs, and you're hoping Heel reverts back to form, and then that could be your top 3. But it's like you really want Stroman being your 4th starter, and it would be the prospect of having Cam Schittler develop into a homegrown starter is great. But it just kind of makes you wonder, like, also, is this kind of more of a showcase where he pitches well and then you use him to acquire a pitcher at the deadline? I'm almost leaning that way. As much as tempting it is to develop somebody, I just don't want Marcus Stroman starting a playoff game, starting a game in the ALCS. So I'm kind of leaning towards that. I mean, sure, we'll see how he looks. But what do you think about that, Danny, with Schittler? I mean, do you think that it's like he's going to most likely be used as like a trade piece?
I think it really does depend on how he goes up against the Mariners, because he's going to be in a tough matchup against whoever he's against. The Mariners staff is all healthy again, so they just shut out the Pirates this past weekend, so they're running high and things like that. But whatever he does, I think will be for the benefit of the team, whether it's coming up and getting in a few good starts, maybe this week, the week after the All-Star break, and then if he ends up being traded, okay. But I think it shows that you do need a starter, whereas earlier, a few weeks ago, even last week, we were like, a starter would be nice, but it's not necessary. Now it shows that you really need one. And if Cam Schlittler gets a deal done for maybe like an Eugenio and either Merrill Kelly or Zach Gallen or something like that, where you can get multiple guys to fill multiple positions in a single trade, and he's one of the guys that can do that, that's good. I think just because you don't know how you're going to need Jones or Lombard, Cam Schlittler is the best prospect to be like, hey, go, because if Cole should be back at the start of the year, or at least by Memorial Day at the latest. Luis Gil hasn't pitched at all yet, so he should be good for all of next year. And then barring anything from Rodon or Fried, that's a 4-guy rotation that you feel really comfortable with. And if Will Warren's your 5th starter for most of the year, great.
Mm-hmm.
So Cam Schlittler is kind of log jammed because of how this rotation is set up for the next few years. So if he pitches well and that can help a trade get done, yes, send him over, because you never know if 1 or 2 good starts is just, oh, we don't have tape on him, or if it's going to be like he's the real deal.
Yeah, exactly. And my thing is, like, I before the Schmidt injury, definitely, like, kind of what you're saying, didn't really want to move him. But then I'm just thinking about things. I don't want Stroman to start a playoff game, and starting a rookie in a playoff game, I mean, sure, that works sometimes, but like, what are the chances that he's actually going to be effective? So, definitely some, decisions to be made. That's for sure. But we'll have to see what happens. They can kind of regroup today.
Both teams off today
with the off day. Yeah. It's a tough sports night, for sure. And then we'll get back at it tomorrow, Warren and Gilbert. And then also too, I mean, I don't know, what you guys think, but I mean, I think, we've seen, and sure, there's been some variables, how teams are playing really plays into it. Obviously, Mets hitting well right now. Yankees just started to hit well, but obviously the pitching hasn't been good. But then when the Yankees put the Mets last time, they weren't necessarily hitting well. So it's kind of like the ebbs and flows of the season. But right. I mean, I guess, right? I mean, it seems like regardless, I mean, we'll see what the changes are. But if we did get this matchup, I mean, it seems like it would be a pretty good one, right? I mean, I don't know.
For the World Series? Yeah. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? I mean, I know, like, we kind of like always joke about every year, be dope to see whatever. But I mean, I feel like in the last 2 seasons specifically, I mean, we've gotten the closest we've been since having it, 25 years ago. So, I mean, they were my pick. And I wasn't being facetious when I made that pick early in the season. I really do believe these 2 teams could make the postseason or the World Series, which would be sick for the city, dude. Like, the only thing that's gonna hurt is my wallet, probably, if that happens, dude.
Who cares about that?
I mean, literally,
you can't take the dollars to the grave,
dude. Like, literally, like, take out another credit card.
Yeah,
just
it's all right.
It's all right.
You'll be all right.
Good. You gotta go to every game.
Yeah,
like every game you gotta go.
Yeah, exactly. And then have a good dinner before every game. And get 20 beers a game, all right? You have to do it right, dude. You can't like
spend $1,000 a night.
Go you can't go half-ass.
You can't. You really can't, dude.
That's for sure. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting too. I think both teams hit well this weekend. But I think both with the pitching. I mean, I think they're both. I mean, really, I think right. I mean, for the Mets too. I mean, you probably want a starter and a reliever too, right? I mean,
yeah, definitely. I mean, not for nothing. I mean, you look at some of the guys that had kind of skimmed by this weekend. Lovelady being one of them. A lot of these bullpen guys. Waddell, Devensky, whatever his name is. Pop. Guys were trotting out. It's like, who even are these players? And you look at their stats. They've had like maybe 22 games played in the last 3 seasons. It's like I don't even know where they even find these guys. But obviously, that's something that's not sustainable. The Mets are really just trying to tread water here with all those injuries. And then you even get starts from Montas. You have 4 runs. You're not going deep. So it's like, you want a lot of additions to this pitching staff. You are going to get, I think Senga's doing a rehab start at the end of the week, maybe. And then Manaea seems to be pretty close. So, you're getting a little bit of reinforcements, but still, I mean, you want to help out your bullpen and possibly even a starting pitcher, because you really don't know. Honestly, like, I don't know, like how much confidence you have in Senga even being healthy the rest of the season. Probably not that much. And then who knows what Manaea will really be looking like too. So, there are still a lot of question marks. You were thankful that there were some timely hits. I mean, Alonso having a 2-home run night, McNeil with that, absolute bomb in the 7th inning. And even, you saw Brett Baty get into the mix with a home run too. So you're hoping some of the offense could stick around. Marte got injured yesterday. I didn't look up anything what happened to him, but what in that at bat
on a take?
He was
on a take.
It must have been like maybe lingering or must have something else.
He could barely make it down the first baseline.
Literally, dude. Like, oh my God. So who knows what's going to happen now? Because he was playing left field, and of course, the one time you see him start left field, he hurts his freaking quad. So it's like, obviously, you would imagine Nimmo will be out there in left.
Winker's coming back,
which is good. Hopefully, can bring some energy to the lineup too. But still, I mean, that's another bat that is going to be injured. So we'll see what happens here. There's definitely a lot to look forward to, as John Pollock said too in the comments before. Looking forward to the deadline. I'm sure there'll be a lot of movement. But I think right now, just in terms of the Mets this past weekend, I mean, you got to be stoked that they took 2 out of 3 here. And then you get the off day, you can kind of rest up, and then it's on to Baltimore. So let's freaking go.
Would you like? Because I've heard some people in the Yankees universe be like, just an outfield right-handed platoon bat, and they've talked about if you can get like Yohan Duran and Harrison Bader in a deal. Would you be happy with that for the Mets?
Harrison Bader.
Yeah, have him return.
Wait,
Harrison Bader, dude. I mean, you see him like, what is he like taking practice swings with that freaking water bat this year? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
No, what's a water bat?
Oh my God, dude. I mean, obviously, like Duran would be cool, but I mean, is he really on the table?
I don't know. The Twins aren't that good, and it's like they had a hot stretch, but other than that, they're middling out. I mean, the Guardians have really struggled of late. They've lost. They're on a 10-game losing streak. But yeah, I think the Twins aren't going to do anything. The Twins are second place in the Central at 43 and 47.
That's pretty wild. I mean, I guess if the package is right, but I mean, like literally, like a bag of balls for Harrison Bader is what I would be offering. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, it's just not. I mean, how have his stats been this year? Again, I haven't seen anything crazy from him. I mean, but I feel like maybe like a little bit.
Right?
Like,
but other than that, right?
But is he a guy you want?
I wouldn't want him
in a big spot in the playoffs, like at the plate.
Well, at least
like,
when he pops out in the infield, he'll look like he's hitting a home run because the way he like jerks up the bat.
Yeah,
right?
and then and not for nothing, like you've seen him have some defensive errors as well, dude. And I know we're kind of itching for a center fielder, I guess, but. I mean, at that point, I'd rather keep Taylor over Bader.
Harrison Bader this year has a 250 average, 328 on base, 429 slug, for 757 OPS. He has a 108 OPS plus. I mean,
better numbers than Taylor, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's got 10 home runs on the year so far.
Yeah,
that he had 12 last year. So,
I would, yeah. I mean, I guess that's an improvement, but still, I mean, I'm looking for more of an impact player. Especially again, I mean, I guess it depends on what the package is going to be. But if it's like Taylor and some cash, that's fine. But I mean, I'm not happy about that one, Dan.
Yeah, I don't think so. And Fishboy's not invincible, by the way. He thinks he's invisible
Why is
because
it? Because
read his comment about he's
Well,
excited
I did say his comment excited for the deadline. I mentioned.
Yeah,
that.
maybe you didn't post.
I just didn't
think,
pull it
yeah,
up, dude. It's all right, John. It's all right, John.
Yeah, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. I mean, his team's fine. School
Yeah, the
Bowl
Tigers
probably will
aren't
start the
struggling.
All-Star game. I mean, it's all good. Speaking of the All-Stars, were you surprised Soto didn't get the nod?
I mean, when I first heard, maybe a little bit, kind of didn't really care that much. But then obviously people were diving into some of the stats, like Tatis Jr., who made it. And I forget who else they were comparing it to. But I mean, there are
Kyle Stowers.
Kyle Stowers.
But he has,
I heard
but
that.
he's the representative for the Marlins.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of like stipulations and stuff like that. So, but I know people are even talking about like some. There's like a commissioner's pick that he may get or something.
No, but they picked Kershaw.
They did it already? Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. They picked
'Cause
Kershaw.
he was a
right,
Legends
dude.
pick, which is what I guess Pujols and Cabrera Miggy got there last
that's
year.
Right, that's right. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it is kind of like odd, I guess. But, I mean, those are just some of the stipulations. I mean, every team needs a representative. So that's why you kind of have to be a little bit more picky and choosy. It's not really just about the stats anymore. So did he kind of get snubbed? Yeah, I guess. But it's also kind of just the format of what the All-Star game is. Which is, I guess something that's maybe been losing value over the past decade or so. So, I mean,
but I think it's still better than the other sports All-Star games.
Oh yeah, we talked about that
Yeah.
ad nauseum. I mean, it really doesn't compare.
My question is, I want to know like when the players voted, because he had such a good, outstanding June. Like if they were
voted earlier, I would.
Yeah,
think.
if they voted earlier, then that makes sense. People talking about it now.
Yeah, true, very true. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, Soto can just use his time to kind of rest and recover and just get back out the second half.
And then I think Cody Bellinger, got robbed over Julio. But obviously, the fans want to see Julio Rodriguez, but he's not even having that good of a year. And Cody Bellinger,
Put Randy in over Julio if you're going to put a Mariners outfielder.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see who fills Bregman's spot.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Jazz getting the nod, which I felt was well deserved. Hopefully this like shoulder thing isn't a problem. He didn't play yesterday, and I guess it's been a few weeks. It's always like this news always comes out like, oh, this injury's been going few weeks. Like Clark Schmidt before the Tommy John had been bothering him. I don't know. It just those are the type of things that just like pisses me off. And even leading up to yesterday, snapping the losing streak, but it just I feel like it's tough not to be like scarred and just muscle memory of kind of like the same things, like rearing your ugly head, and you just think about Boone, and like there's just like the basically, I mean, stuff to be made fun of about, oh well, we're still the best team in the league, even though it looked like shit for a month, like and stuff like that, and then Cashman going cheap. I mean, where are you with everything, Danny? I mean, is it still not a good feeling, or do you think that hopefully like the worst is past us?
I'm kind of back and forth. On Saturday, I was like, miss the playoffs,
tear it down,
finish under 500, anything to get at least Boone out of there,
right?
Because it just doesn't feel there's any accountability with anyone, and I just want someone just talk to Anthony Volpe, just ask what's going on. Because it definitely seems like he was perfectly fine keeping the offense and defense separate, and now he's not able to do that. So is it just a mental thing? Is it an injury? Like, someone just talk to him and figure out what's going on, because he's 24 years old and you're going to ruin this man, and then he's not going to be able to play baseball because you ruined him by not helping him actually develop. And just being like, oh, you're a high school talent that we picked in the first round. Let's get you to the majors as soon as possible. Let's pass on all these other free agent shortstops for you to be here. There's just no accountability with the team. The bullpen issues. I understand you had to use probably more guys than you wanted on Friday, and they were kept giving up runs. But on Saturday, when you're starting to mount a comeback, why is your pitching Scott Efros, JV Sandridge, and JT Brubaker? Why are those the relievers you used when your offense was putting an effort to come back in that game?
Yeah.
Like, at least have a fighting chance. And so it's just, you don't know what's going to happen, because people like Bellinger show that you can't always believe in what's who's hot because Dominguez is hot, but Dominguez was not going to make that play that Bellinger made to double up yesterday. So it's just outstanding. And I think the play that sums up the weekend is Ronnie Mauricio being tagged out because he thought Jazz Chisholm overthrew TJ LeMahieu, and just both teams not having fundamentals.
Yeah. No, exactly. But yeah, so it's tough. I mean, I definitely, like I said, it just, and a part of me just feels like embarrassed, like just for like these type of things that like keep happening and just embarrassing. I feel embarrassed, like just to have Boone as the manager. Like, and I know it's like the stuff he's saying,
All-Star
like the front
game
office
manager.
All-Star game manager. But the front office wants him to say it, and it's all a charade and stuff. But I don't know. It just, for like the organization that we are, it just, or should be anyway. It just feels embarrassing. And then you feel like you have an owner that just cares about like the bottom line and stuff and making the playoffs. So that stuff is kind of tough to take. But I think a way that they can prove me wrong is just kill the trade deadline. I mean, we got injuries, we have needs, so take care of those needs, and then I think that could give us a jolt. To really have a better stretch of baseball here coming up. Some big series on the horizon with the Cubs and the Mariners. And like just show me something tomorrow. And I know it's a tough spot because Logan Gilbert's pitching against Will Warren. But win that game, because I just feel like this is the trend we've seen, like the way things are going, like is them losing that game tomorrow. Like after, you have this big win, you hold on late, you have an off day against the Mets, and then you just fall flat the next day. Like that's Will Warren giving up a grand slam in the first inning, and then the whole thing going to shit. So show something tomorrow. I think that would be big. So we'll have to see. But that's my thing. I think this season, can be salvaged, but you got to be busy. You got to be busy at the deadline. If you're not busy at the deadline, then I don't know, how you get through this. And what do you think about Jazz? I mean, you think there's a reason to be concerned there? I guess he's saying it doesn't bother him when he's throwing or when he's hitting. It's just when he's throwing. I mean, what do you think about that?
I think it's also the Yankees trying to say it's not our fault for playing a guy out of position, that he's not being a great defender.
Mhm.
It's that he's injured. It's that his shoulder's hurt. I think it's just BS, because I think it's them trying to justify that, we don't actually need a third baseman. They're trying to just play mental games so that they can get they're not going to get any Yankees tax on a third baseman and needing one. They're trying to be like, Jazz he has a shoulder issue. That's why the defense hasn't looked outstanding. It's just, they're just trying to play mind games.
And I mean, I guess I'm asking a question that I basically already know the answer to, but it's like, is the whole reason that they're like so insistent on that is just because they don't want to they want TJ LeMahieu to play a lot and rebound, and like other than that, they would just have Peraza playing third base?
I think it's because they don't want to offend Judge, and because Judge can continue to step out of his way to defend DJ the past 2 years, Rizzo at points last year. I do think that's part of it, is Aaron Judge just has this attachment and doesn't want them to do it to them. But it's also like someone has to talk to him and be like, do you genuinely think you are a good enough player to be in the big leagues? Like, you would not make the roster for the Colorado Rockies right now.
No. Nope. No, that's true. And also, I mean, as time goes on and, you see DJ, grounding into double plays, not getting the balls. I mean, I just have a question of, like, does Aaron Judge, like, as much as he likes DJ, does he really want him to play every day? Like, I mean, you can't find a middle ground there. And this is stuff that feels embarrassing. Like, it's one thing or the other. Like, you're bad, you're done, you should go out the roster. Like, this shouldn't be a conversation. But it's just, I mean, I guess as a middle ground, like, you could keep him on the roster, but he doesn't need to play like he's playing. Like, you know what I mean? So that, I just question the way things are. I mean, Judge knows that, like, him being out and especially getting Eugenio Suarez, like, would completely change things. So I just hope they do that, and especially with Jazz, like, it's a shorter throw from second. Like, you don't want this shoulder thing to linger. It just makes too much sense to move him to move him back to second base.
No, I fully agree, but I don't know. It's mind-boggling to know why Boone continues to make this decision of, if Peraza and Jazz are in the lineup, why not put them at third and second?
Oh, no, and he said, like, oh, I just don't want to move him back and forth. Like, it's like, well, Peraza's playing all over anyway, and Jazz is a natural second baseman. So what sense does that make?
Yeah, I think it just does not make sense.
What does it even mean?
Because I don't think when the teams that had good second basemen were not in the playoff on, like the Rays, if you could finally get them to trade you Brandon Lau. Brandon.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, there's an argument to be made to play Jazz at third, but you're not going to get a second baseman. You're more likely to get a third baseman at this deadline. So you're going to be putting Jazz back at second base anyways. So what's the holdup?
Yeah. No, exactly.
He would have been the starter at second base in the American League if he was playing second base when he came back. That's why the commissioner's office picked him.
Yeah. I mean, it's so crazy. And I don't know, just like the way decisions are made, and just, I don't know, just the way things look sometimes. I mean, as a Yankee fan, like at times, or just maybe it's just a general feeling, I mean, do you feel embarrassed at all?
I wouldn't say like overall I feel embarrassed, but it's definitely just frustration and confusion. Whether it's watching Oswaldo Peraza's at bats, watching Jazz and DJ miss plays at second and third respectively. It's just, these are things that like you expect from like the White Sox,
right?
Or like the Athletics.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not playing DJ for, you say you're playing DJ for his offense, but
he's hitting 230.
Yeah, 230 batting average. It's not like when they were playing Andujar for his average, for his offense in 2018, and he was like leading the league in extra base hits. So it doesn't make sense why you're deciding to like die on this specific hill of, yeah, even call up the A's and just see like how much would it take to get Gio Urshela back? Like, just bring like someone back that you know can like play a decent third base and is just better than what you have now.
Yeah, well, and for that, I mean, I think at some point they'll probably just release him. So, I mean, even if we did have to trade for him, I'm sure it would be nothing. So, I mean, that's a flyer thing. But like I was saying, like, I just think just go for it. Just get Suarez, whatever you have to give up. Maybe you get the package with Gallen and you get one of their relievers, whatever. But like, just do it. And that's the thing. As bad as this all looks right now, it is salvageable. But I think you just have to be aggressive and let's just flip the switch right now. It starts tomorrow. So I think at least it was important to hang on. But we need some help in this bullpen. We need a third baseman. So let's hope that stuff happens. What else we got here?
Let's see. We did have John Pollock, who not only is he invisible and pumped for the deadline here, but he also says we need another pitcher, and he says tonight we get revenge on the Rays.
Yeah, nobody's trading with the Tigers. Are too good. All right.
Yeah, honestly, dude.
So get Charlie Morton at the deadline, okay?
Oh. And then we have the baseball purist here.
Oh my God, prefer taking my photo from
that is you, right?
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, but first, so ridiculous. A cruise. I'm trying to think. That cruise must have been from. Jeez, I think that cruise is from like 2010.
I mean, there's like no beard, clean shaven.
Yeah. The chin strap. No, I think that is a chin strap.
Yeah?
Like, you just can't see the sides. But prefer. I mean, it's pathetic at this point. Really. Like, I might honestly have to talk to law enforcement.
I mean, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, like, just getting a little creepy.
Identity theft is a serious crime.
It's
not a joke.
It is.
Okay, it's not a joke, dude. D-Rels here says Mets best team in baseball. Let's go Mets. Mets, New York team, he says.
Yeah, so clearly some type of substance abuse issue there. Doesn't know what he's talking about. But yeah, I do hope that we get the Subway Series, and I think both teams will look a little different at that point.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude.
Brian, do you think that them picking up Jeimer Candelario off of waivers justifies Brian Cashman to not trade for a third baseman?
But this is the type of stuff that I honestly can't. Can we just act like a first-class organization instead of just like doing stupid things? This stuff should be so easy. But hopefully he never sees the majors, unless somehow we're able to reinvent him. But what are the chances of that actually happening? I mean, the only situation that I would favor over, I would want him over is just getting rid of LeMahieu and giving him a shot, sure. But other than that, like I said, go for it. Because otherwise, you half-ass this deadline. I mean, I just think it's just not going to be good. It really isn't.
Not good.
And yeah, I want like 2 relievers, to be honest. And I feel like it's such an easy thing. And I understand maybe he's not vintage or whatever. And I'm not asking him to be like the closer again or even that high leverage, but like, he's sitting out there. We don't have to give up anything for him. Like, why can't we just sign David Robertson? I mean, imagine having David Robertson just pitching the 6th inning, and kind of taking over that role for Fernando Cruz till he's healthy. That would be great. I just wish we could do something like that, but there just doesn't seem like there's any news. And I'm guessing it's a salary thing, but I would think at some point somebody brings him in. I hope it's us. And then what do you think's going on with Weaver? I mean, you think he's just still hurt?
Yeah, I think that's probably what it is, because it's not anything we've seen in his Yankees tenure to pitch like this. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like when we first got him in 2023. But yeah, I definitely think he rushed back from injury because he wanted to get out there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you don't feel right. But I mean, he said in the post game the other day,
he feels fine.
Yeah, he doesn't know like what's wrong.
Isn't his velocity down though? I feel like he's throwing like under 94 sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's a mix of the velocity and the command right now. But I mean, he was like hitting that rough stretch back in May where he was doing a lot of big flies. So I think it was only a matter of time for him to get like scuffed up a little bit, but it's still like, whoa, dude, you always got to do what's best for the team. But I don't know. I like the idea of David Robertson just for the sole fact of he hasn't pitched yet.
He's
so
fresh.
His arm will be fine.
Yeah.
I think they're going to DFA Leiter soon just because they pitched him so much.
Oh my, yeah, that's another thing. We keep putting him in big spots too, and I can't believe, I'm trying to think, that was yesterday that he pitched, right? And then they got the double
yesterday,
play. But right, I mean, from you like seeing like the game and stuff, I mean, right? Doesn't Leiter seem shot? Like
he seems shot. He seems angry. He seems like mentally upset too, dude. But for David Robertson, dude, it says here he wants $15 million for a contract, 1 year, $15 million. Which I mean seems a little absurd.
Well, it's prorated at this point, so I mean that's only 7. I mean, it's like just whatever it is, just do it.
Yeah,
like,
just
and then
do
we
it.
Just don't have to like give up anything. And like I said, I mean, him in the 6th inning, I just feel like you could rely on him. That would be great. Yeah, and I hope Leiter. Like, I think you could actually trade him, even if it's just for nothing, even if it's for like such like a lottery ticket prospect or whatever. Just do it. Because he's under control for next year as well. So just at a manageable salary, he's making $2 million this year. I think somebody would trade for him. Because I'm sure like there's some type of analytics that show like with the strikeouts or whatever. But I am just so done. He seems so easy to hit. And also too, I don't love the way that Loizaga is pitching right now. I mean, do you think it's just a predictability thing? Because it seemed like the Mets are having no problem making contact with him.
I don't know what it's been since the beginning of June. He's just not been sharp. And I mean, even when he came back, he was struggling to get lefties out. I don't know. I genuinely cannot tell you what is wrong with him, but it's definitely something that needs to be adjusted because they want to use him as this high leverage guy, but he's not getting outs. And so when the bullpen is strained, because Fernando Cruz is honestly the reliever I think most Yankees fans trust the most right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the one that's not there.
Yeah. No, exactly. That was really a big blow. It's a shame that happened. So it just seems like it's gonna be wild. So as much as I would love him back as soon as possible, we can't rush him back as well. But then it's a the wise guy. But I mean, I guess it wasn't like a big money deal. So whatever, we get a team option for next year. But this is the kind of stuff that he's shown us for a while, that we can't like rely on him to stay healthy and be consistent, right? But we keep giving him more opportunities. And I was in favor of bringing him back, but I think, I think he's kind of shown what he is. Like the potential's there, but he seems like he never fully harvests it.
Yeah, and you do have to wonder, is it just because he has always been injured that he was never able to really settle in and find a groove for the season? Or is it just he just doesn't have like that extra step to really put it all together at the highest level, be as consistent as you see like Josh Hader being this year, or Andres Munoz for the Mariners, like these really consistent relievers that they just have that like extra oomph to them. They just like, no matter the moment, they're going to do whatever it takes to get those outs that they need to.
Yeah, I mean, he's 30 going on 31, and this is only his third season that he's made 20 appearances. So, like, the reps just aren't there. I think that's the biggest thing. But I do think there's a predictability factor. It does seem like you have a sinker. Usually you're going to feature that a lot. But what did you see when he came in the games this weekend, Tony? I mean, do you think it's a predictability thing? Like, you're just sitting on the fastball and the hitters are ready for it? I mean, because like I said, I didn't see a lot of swing and miss on the mound.
No, not at all. I saw a lot of like contact, really, dude. So
late night or no, early afternoon? Right?
Not as late as Michael Buckta and Ernie. Do we know about that? I don't know. Maybe it is predictability. I don't know if he's like, is he tipping his pitches sort of deal? Or is his pitches just that recognizable that the batters know what's coming? Because he has a selection of pitches that he goes to. So it's just like, I don't know. I mean, from his standpoint, is it maybe a lack of confidence in certain pitches that maybe why he doesn't throw as many or doesn't throw as much of whatever? But all I know is that it does seem like the batters are recognizing those pitches and they're making some pretty solid contact with him. So, I mean, until he changes something, maybe mechanically or just, switches up his percentages in terms of what he's throwing. Do you have his numbers up in front of you right now? Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah. No, I mean, his ERA this year.
In terms of like splits of like what pitches he's using.
It's funny. I mean, you just talk about like, I don't know, telepathy thing, Tony. I was actually going into the fan graphs.
There we go.
Let's see. So pitch type and velo.
Yeah.
Let's pull that up. If it actually will come up. Having the files okay. So I mean, it looks like that he's throwing of course now ads. It looks like, what is it, 62% of the time. It doesn't even make sense. It's saying that he's throwing a slider.
Oh yeah.
And his cutter is 19% of the time, and his fastball is only I feel like that's sinker, not slider. Okay, so 62% of the time. I mean, that's a lot, right? I mean,
that is a lot.
19% on the cutter, 14% on the changeup, and then 3% on the fastball. Velocity is down 96.7 versus 98.4.
Oh, really?
96.7. So, I mean, since his rookie year, this is the lowest velocity he's had. So I don't know. And maybe like the movement. I mean, did you think there was a lot of movement on his pitches?
No.
So flat velocity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess that kind of sums it up. And really, right? I mean, I think this whole weekend, I mean, who out of the Yankee bullpen did a good job pitching other than Tim Hill and Devin Williams, right? And I know, what was it? What did Williams only pitch?
He only pitched yesterday.
Okay, because it was against Toronto that he had given up the runs, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys get much like watch time in this weekend?
No, I saw the bottom of the ninth inning yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I watched the end of the game yesterday. Mm-hmm. Saturday I was out, and so when I finally got to a restaurant that had it on, I was just refusing to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And then Friday, we had it on because they have a TV outside by their pool, and then also in the living room, and so they had set up 2 different appetizer stations. Mm-hmm. So had kept an eye on it. watched Luke Weaver give up the homer to lose the game.
Yeah, dude, it was definitely tough for me too. I think I watched the entire game yesterday, of course. Caught some pieces of the game on Saturday because I had a barbecue, but there was no internet connection because I was in, Bumblefuck, Pennsylvania. But one guy was streaming it somehow, so I was kind of like peeking over his shoulder. He was a Yankee fan. He was upset. And then Friday, I don't know. We had some restaurant that the TV didn't work or something. I don't know, dude. So Friday was limited. Oh my God, Brian, the restaurant on Friday, you'd be on the Google review right now with the 1 star, dude.
What happened?
So bad. So this restaurant, it's like right outside, like where my uncle lives. And again, I haven't been there in 5 years. So 5 years ago, it was this place called Trios.
Yeah.
Amazing chicken parm, buffalo chicken sandwiches, burgers, whatever. Really good, honestly. And I remember specifically a buffalo chicken sandwich, or wrap rather, that was delicious. So I was like, okay. This place, though, new owner, gutted it, whatever, redid it. But you went inside. It was kind of the same restaurant, same menus. It's like, all right, like
this should be solid.
Let's run it back. All right. It was delicious last time. But what they did do is this guy, my uncle was telling me, shipped in an oven from Italy, brick oven pies, dude. I was like, all right, let's go. And we ordered 3 large pies. Woman comes out, the waitress comes out. The brick oven is only for like the small bar pies, so the large pies don't fit in there, so it'll be regular oven pies. So like, all right, whatever, give it to us. Got one pie with sauteed onions on it, and it's so funny. My uncle was so specific. He's like, I want sauteed onions, caramelized onions, just saute them in a pan before you put them on, whatever. Of course, pizza comes out, raw onions on it, goes back, restaurant. Kitchen couldn't do anything. Waitress comes back out. I'm sorry, but this is just what it is. What it is. She says, this is it. And it's like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Pizza tastes like it was from Costco. Buffalo chicken wrap I had was terrible. It was like shredded chicken in a can, I thought. Really bad. It was bad, dude. Although the appetizers were really good. The baked clams were actually really good. So was the galamad. And that was it.
Restaurants these days, like yesterday, great pizza, mangoes in Mystic. I guess they're famous for the meatballs. So I had this pizza. It was like meatballs, onions and peppers. It was really good. But like, and I didn't care. Like the water was still cold, so like I was fine. But my mom was asking, like, "Oh, can we get some ice?" And I guess they're like, "Yeah, we have a small ice machine, so like it always kind of like breaks down. So like we don't have any ice right now." And this is like a Sunday night at 6:30
at a restaurant.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Like, what? Like, I don't know, man. So that was crazy. And then also too, there's this place on the beach in Westerly called Windjammers. Plenty of outside seating.
Yeah.
But they just told us, yeah, no, your group's too big because it was like 11 and then a high chair for my niece. Yeah, sorry, we can't sit you outside, but then they're sitting outside. So then we just brought stuff outside, and then it took forever for the food. But it's just like, stuff like that. Like, what are we really doing? Like, if there's spots outside, sit us outside. Like, you're right on the ocean.
And I don't understand, like, how the fuck, like, this is July 4th weekend, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, you should be prepared for all this stuff.
Oh no! And the best part too, we get there. Oh, sorry. There's just not going to be room for you outside. People made reservations. And then someone else comes over. We ask him, oh, yeah, just give us 10 or 15 minutes. Then the first person comes back. Yeah, sorry, we can't see you outside. So it's like, clearly they just didn't want to go through like the effort of putting us outside, filling up the inside. But it's like, bad job.
Bad job, dude.
End of the day.
No tip.
So, yeah. So, I mean, that's really that. But, I mean, I think we're kind of in a similar place where it's like, I think we just want to, both teams, right, Tony? I mean, you want to see certain moves be made.
That's
there
right.
is a groundwork. There are good things. But there's a lot of baseball ahead. But I think the trade deadline is so important. More important than it's ever been this year.
I think so. And I do think David Robertson will go to a team. I was just looking at his stats even from last year.
Unbelievable.
Dude, 60 games last season with Texas, right? I mean, a 3 ERA. I think he had like 75 strikeouts over those innings too. I don't know, I forget how many innings it was. In any case, dude, I mean, the stuff was there. I know he's 40 years old, but again, I mean, a bullpen piece who, has a World Series under his belt, all-star, and not for nothing, like wants to pitch. Like, I think many teams should be interested in him. But yeah, dude, definitely want to see some moves here for both teams. And, Subway Series split for the season aside, it's again, I mean, as a Met fan, I mean, you're still lacking in this department. In the past month has been very substandard. So
yeah,
like I said, it's on to Baltimore tomorrow, and you're looking to win the series. I mean, that's what it is at this point. And I know Mendoza's talked about it. You want to stop the bleeding here with his injuries and try to make it through. But again, I mean, the bat's got to remain hot. The guys on the team, regardless of who's injured or not, has to perform. So you got to hold these guys accountable, and you got to win some more games.
I'm kind of surprised. I don't know about you, but like I know, like the home run was nice on Friday, but like Soto, the 6 games against the Yankees, 1 home run, right? I mean, I don't know what the average is, but it couldn't have been good. Didn't you expect him to do more against the Yankees?
Yeah, I guess so. Especially since the home run on Friday too. I mean,
like
you
thought
like it would keep going, dude.
Right?
But I will say, I think he did do well against the Yankees this season in those 6 games. They threw the stat up there.
Well, I know the first series he was 1 for 11, wasn't he? Like he got 1 hit. Literally.
1 hit. Well, I think maybe
he was 0 for 4 yesterday.
I forget, maybe the stat was something different. Then.
3 for 4 on Friday.
Yeah.
And then 2 hits. Saturday 1 for 3.
1 for 3.
So I guess this series was okay. Like I said, I'm glad it didn't happen, but I thought he was going to hit like 5 home runs against us. Honestly, didn't you?
I don't know. I didn't really go in with any expectations for him, just because. Well, yes, it's at City.
Yeah,
it's still New York City, so you don't know how the makeup's going to be of the fans and the crowd. But
it's definitely lacking. That's for sure, dude.
Yeah, I thought he'd definitely have a good series, and like he did, but that's why you didn't want anyone getting on base in the 9th inning yesterday, because it felt like if someone did, Juan Soto was going to end the game.
Yeah,
and even if he didn't, then you have Pete Alonso, and Pete Alonso would have ended the game because Pete Alonso tore us up all weekend.
Yeah, and he has torn up Devin Williams in the past.
Yeah. So I mean, it was nice to get through that inning, but
dude,
let's have the
that umpire sucked. By the way, like what a fucking asshole that guy. The whole game, dude. The whole game.
No, but it's umpiring in general sucks.
Umpiring.
We're talking about this all the time.
No, yeah, true. But I will say, I don't know. That was more like egregious bad calls I've seen in a little while.
Yeah.
Oh no, I feel like
it happens all the time though.
It does.
We don't even watch a lot of these games.
Yeah.
It's definitely happening.
No, yeah, I'm sure.
It's just an overall problem, for sure.
Not good.
Do we have the picks updated?
We do have the picks updated.
What dumpster fire for me again?
A little bit, dude. Yeah. Well, you went 3-3 on Friday.
Okay.
Well, I guess from Thursday, whatever.
On your lead,
I went 4-2.
Yep.
So I'm 82-80.
Oh, wow, over 500. Full baseball season. We've done a full baseball season of picks.
Oh my god, yeah, we have.
And
dude.
what am I, a 70-win team?
77.
77
and 85.
Okay. And I didn't even look how many. Are there 6 games today?
I think
there's a lot of games today.
Oh, there are. Okay, cool. I haven't.
Okay. Just fantasy splits for whatever reason. There's some leagues where I barely have anybody playing, but there is actually a lot of games. All right. So enough. Full slate. And then you're going first, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Because I think you ended.
I ended with the Giants and the under, dude.
All right, so let's do it. 6-pack MLB pick segment, Hirsch Law Firm, all of that. No Yankees or Mets. So what are we gonna do? Kind of interesting.
Yes, dude. You're gonna find out right now, dude. Like Dan said, plenty of games here to choose from. I guess I'll go with John Pollock. Dude, John Pollock, not the invisible man here. Tigers going out there undecided, getting revenge here against the Rays. Why not, dude? Comerica Park here. He mentioned the Tigers looking to expand here on a 3-game win streak, sweeping Cleveland. Obviously, he mentioned looking to get back to the Rays, who took a regular season series 2-3 in late June. So kind of still licking their wounds, maybe. Not after tonight, dude. Over-under here is 8.5. Shane Baz, who's having, I thought he had an okay start to the year. 8.3, 4.33 ERA. I guess maybe giving up some runs as of late. And I think he gives up a few out of the park early on. Maybe he'll last 5 innings, giving up 3 or 4 earned runs. Detroit goes out early, holds the lead. They win the game. I'll say 6-3. So give me Tigers in the over, Brian.
All right. So I normally don't like taking rival opponents, but this one is just too good to pass up. Fenway Park.
Wow.
Austin Gomber opposed by Dick Fitz for the Red Sox here. Red Sox minus 225. The Rockies 21-69 this year. So the Red Sox aren't a great team, but against a pitcher like Austin Gomber at Fenway Park, I mean, I really feel like the chances of the Rockies winning this game are like 0.00001%. Like I just don't see it happening. The Red Sox did just sweep the Nationals, got Rizzo and Martinez fired over there in DC. So I think this is a bloodbath. I think the Red Sox cover the over themselves. So I'm going to say they win 12-3 over the Rockies. So Red Sox and the over.
All right, dude. Talking about chances of winning here. Let's do it. Let's go to Chicago here. Red Sox over. As the Blue Jays are taking on the White Sox, dude. You have Jose Barrios and Sean Burke here. Both these players towing the slabs. Both of them with 4 wins on the year. ERA for Barrios 3.64, pretty solid. Excuse me. I mean, the Blue Jays have been pretty solid, winning 9 of their last 10. Obviously, first in the AL East, one of the hotter teams in the past few weeks around the league. And I think just playing Chicago here, going to be a bit of a dumpster fire. Springer's been hot, leading the team 16 home runs. I think it's his 17th. I guess it'll go over 8.5. Yeah, I guess give me Toronto in the over for my second game.
All right. So number two. I am going to go with the Houston Astros. Unfortunately, Houston is really good again.
Yeah.
And despite not having Yordan Alvarez, they have been great this year. 20 games over 500 all of a sudden. They got Colton Gordon on the mound versus Tanner Bybee. Has not pitched great. So, the Guardians out of it. Do they look to move him? They usually do that with their controllable pitchers. But he's been 4-9 with a 4.20. Gordon 3-1, 4.37. Only 45 and a third innings pitched, but 57 hits. But Houston has been hot, sweeping the Dodgers at Chavez Ravine. That was surprising. Then you look at Cleveland, 10-game losing streak. So they are kind of due, but I just don't think it's going to be tonight. I think Houston's playing too well. So give me the Astros winning this game. I like the over. I think they'll win 8-3. So Astros in the over.
Astros and the over. All right, dude. My last game here, best game possibly. Go to San Diego. The Padres taking on the Diamondbacks to kick off this week. And kick off this series here. We have a 3-game set, obviously. Actually, excuse me, it's a 4-game set. And it's starting off with a regular season debut of one Yu Darvish, dude, which is pretty big. And I know you're going to say, all right, well, he's not going to go very deep into the game. But the Padres here have one of the top bullpens in the league in terms of lowest ERA and strikeouts. Diamondbacks have one of the worst bullpens in this league in terms of runs given up and strikeouts. Zach Gallen have shown formidable, I guess, dude, some good starts, but overall this season, 5.5 ERA, not good. Darvish, I think, can put together an okay start. Maybe you're looking at 4 innings of 1 earned run. Bullpen locks it down. The Padres themselves, Tatis, all-star, maybe a 2-run homer in the 5th. Padres are winning this game. I'm going to say 4-2, 5-2. Padres in the under.
All right. Third game, final game. Going to go with the Royals hosting Pittsburgh. Noah Cameron versus Andrew Heaney. Cameron's been great. 2-4, 2.56. Heaney 4-7, 4.16. I just think the Pirates, just really aren't good. And O'Neal Cruz, he's got the home runs, he's got the stolen bases, but he's hitting 203 this year. That's surprising. I think the Pirates are looking to trade Brian Reynolds. They're talking about his teams that he doesn't want to be traded to. The Yankees and the Mets on that list. And they just got swept by Seattle. Royals won 2 out of 3 in Arizona. They're looking to be sellers at this point, but we'll see if they can turn things around. It might start right now. But I think they'll win this game. I think this is an under game. I guess they win 5-2. Royals under, just like that. 6-pack MLB pick segment. First law firm. Grid time.
Royals under. Grid time.
What do we have here.
Oh, hey now.
The Mets. On the list here. Steve Troxel, Mets, Cubs. Or you think too obvious? Not
Mets,
really.
Cubs.
People don't really think of Troxel. No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he was definitely on the Cubs. I'm pretty positive about that one, right?
I mean, if you're positive, I'm positive.
And then, if you want to start with something else, Robertson for the Phillies, Mets, or do we do somebody else? Or, what are the other Phillies, Mets? You think of?
I mean, I guess Jake Diekman.
Oh, but Diekman is a good one because I feel like people.
Who the hell remembers Diekman? Yeah, really.
And then go Troxel, right? I mean, I feel like he's not going to be popular. I think it.
Troxel, there it is.
No.
Oh, no.
Whew. That could have been one of those.
Wait, how the hell do you spell his name?
Troxel is SASCHEL. No, TRACHSEL. SEL. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Steve Troxel, 3%.
The Mets and the A's besides Cespedes.
I mean, we could do JD Davis.
JD Davis, yep. All right, 0.5.
There we go.
We go. All-star for the A's, Blake Treinen?
Yes. Wait, just A's All-Star?
Yep.
0.4. There we go, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Bang.
Let's see on these other ones. The Cubs and the Indians and the All-Stars for the Phillies.
Yeah, I mean, DD
made the All-Star team?
Probably not. I'm trying to think of maybe people who Stott has.
I feel like Roy Halladay All-Star team. There you go.
Okay. Pure shot. Oh, there we go.
And then also a yearly favorite, All-Star for the Cubs, Moises Alou.
Moises Alou, dude. Bang.
All
right, hold your breath.
All right, so the Guardians and the Phillies.
Did Miguel Batista play for the Indians?
Miguel Batista, I don't think so.
Because he played for the Cubs, I know that.
You're talking about the reliever, right?
Yes.
I'm trying to think. Anybody Cleveland, Philly besides Carlos Santana?
I mean, there definitely are. Damn. I don't know. No one's gonna help the comments here.
The Cubs. I'm trying to think. Is Dribble Cabrera? Josh is saying, and that must be for what? The Guardians and the
Guards, Phils, he says.
Okay. 1%.
1%. Let's go, dude.
The Cubs and the Guardians. Just trying to.
Who the hell was on that World Series team, dude?
It's interesting because they played in the World Series.
Yeah.
Rajah Davis didn't play for the Cubs, though, right?
I don't think so.
Just trying to think about other guys. Didn't. I don't know if it'll be too high though. I was thinking about Donaldson for A's and Guardians. I guess no one really thinks about Donaldson on the Guardians.
I wouldn't think so.
Or even the A's. Really.
I wouldn't think on the A's. Donaldson. Josh Donaldson. 3%. All right, dude.
One more of this elusive Cubs and the Guardians. Okay, no, that was Guards Phillies. Just trying to think about one here. No.
I'm trying to think. Jose Batista, one of those guys, dude.
Soler, I don't think played on the Guardians, right?
No. Brad Hand.
Andrew Miller, no. Brad Hand, I don't remember being on the Cubs.
I don't think so.
Corey Kluber, no. Jose Mesa, I don't think so. Edwin Jackson, I think just for the Cubs, right?
I think so.
Octavio Dotel, maybe just for the Cubs as well. Like catchers, Girardi, no. Just trying to think about other guys. Old David Justice, no.
Yan
Gomes. Yan Gomes. That is going to be the winner. This is going to be a good grid. What do we get?
4%. I'll sign up maybe later.
16. One of the lowest ever, right? Didn't we get a 13 last week?
13 or 14, I believe.
Shout out Josh 14, B, though. I mean,
that was
obviously,
huge.
right? I mean, that was a big one. So,
huge, dude.
gripping, another grid. And then you think Kev's just trying to start shit, or I mean,
yeah, I think so.
I mean, 4th of July weekend, Kev.
I mean, honestly, dude, like nobody was able to really watch all the games. You know?
So I mean, let's get the schedule right. The one of the series has to be September 11th. We've talked about it a million times. And I'm just trying to think. Other than that, like other sports, I mentioned the Martinez and Rizzo being fired like 5 years too late, right?
Which is wild, yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mean, they literally won that World Series 6 years ago. What's Michael Butka saying?
Okay, yeah.
Harry Potter stuff.
Hey, Bonds, he says, can we have a wand duel, please?
I hate Harry Potter.
Come on, Michael Buchter. You should know that, honestly, dude. Like, you even know who you're talking to.
There was a trade in the NBA, if you want to go over that.
The 7-team trade?
No. One this morning at 10:30.
What was the trade?
The Clippers, Jazz, and Heat. Norman Powell to Miami, John Collins to Los Angeles, and Kevin Love, Kyle Anderson, and a 2027 Clippers second-round pick to Utah.
Wow, dude.
There
Kevin
you go.
Love.
And then still no press conference for wait, Kevin Love going where?
Utah.
I forgot Kevin Love's even playing anymore.
It's kind of crazy, dude. But good for him.
Hopefully he plays, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
I always really liked him, honestly.
Yeah, same, dude.
We'll probably get bought out.
I'm actually just kind of curious what the numbers say here for Kevin Love recently. Last year he played 23 games, but 55 and 03, 62 and 22. Obviously was a part of that championship team back in 2016 of the Cavs. Had some great numbers with Minnesota before being traded for Andrew Wiggins. And then come on, Barnes, let's say. Michael, come on. Is this the Harry Potter report? Like, it's just like, there's no Harry Potter. There's no Disney. There's no Snow White, Michael. So just accept it. All right? Right? I mean, sometimes you got to just hear it straight.
Absolutely, dude.
I'm trying to think other than that, though. I think that's really where we're at.
Yeah, dude. I think so too, man. I mean,
other than one thing that I'm surprised about, teams mulling trades for TJ Watt. I do not understand it, man. I guess there's a contract situation there with TJ Watt, but Steelers have been terrible without TJ Watt over the last couple of years. Like, why are they going to trade TJ Watt?
Why would they?
I mean, any ideas here, fellas? But I mean, it's just like they just don't want to give him the big contract, and they think, oh, he's getting older. Like,
I guess maybe. I mean, I guess they dumped Fitzpatrick too. To what, Miami, right? And then I don't know.
But I think there's a difference.
I mean, well, I guess maybe they worry that Watt injury. I don't know. What was his stats last season? Didn't he miss some time?
11 and a half sacks. And first of all, he's 30 years old.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
But he actually played every game the last 2 years.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, wow. So then last 2 years, so then what was that? When he got the league in sacks, that was probably, 3 or 4 seasons ago?
Well,
then
last year, previous year, I'm saying, because he had 19 sacks, so I think he led the league then. I think.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, they should really just pay him then.
Yeah. I mean, he has 108 sacks, and he's been in the league since 2017. Just the last 2 years alone, he has 30 and a half sacks. I mean, you just don't get that type of production anymore.
And not for nothing, dude. I mean, the Steelers, they got to have good defense.
Yeah.
They're the Steelers. So, and this guy's seems kind of like a generational talent guy here.
Yeah. So maybe it's just a leverage thing. I think he's going to stay. Is this what's Michael saying?
No.
Just about Harry Potter.
Yeah, okay. Enough.
Trolling you.
Quick thing on the way out. Speaking of me trolling stuff I don't like. the Savannah Bananas did come up this weekend. So actually,
Fenway.
My 3 nephews, my sister and her husband were at the Savannah Bananas yesterday. I didn't hear how it was. I saw the pictures. Looked like they had a good time.
The kid.
And then like they bought the merch and everything. But we did have some conversations, and most people beside like agreed with me though that it's like okay, yeah, like good for the kids, but like my dad and my mom were saying it, and like Choker is like I'm not wasting my time. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I mean you're right. You're not wrong.
And then my brother-in-law's father was at the game, and on Facebook he posted a picture. I guess Johnny Damon played yesterday.
Yeah,
no kidding.
They'll like have former players
at that stadium
or actors that played like the guy that played what's his face from The Sandlot.
Oh, I don't know.
Benny the Jet?
Like no.
Jet Rodriguez?
The catcher?
You're
Smalls?
Yeah,
Smalls?
Ham.
Oh, yeah.
So he took an at-bat.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you couldn't pay me to go to a Bananas game.
Really?
I mean, I'm trying to think. We're at least $1,000 for me to go to a Bananas game.
I didn't like. What if it was like $250?
Nah.
$250.
Nah.
What if you threw out the first pitch? Because it counts. Like the first pitch
counts?
Yeah.
That's actually fucking hilarious.
So the umpire stands behind the catcher.
Yeah.
The batter is in the box.
No, you know what? I just my price just went up to $10,000. This is ridiculous.
Gosh.
This is a Broadway play. This is not baseball. Stop playing it at baseball stadiums. It's just so annoying. Like, yes, kids enjoy. I hope my nephews enjoyed it yesterday, but just get me out of there. I mean, I guess being the good uncle that I am, if I was asked for, that would be the only exception because it's like, you got to do it for the kids.
For the kids.
Like, that's right. But it's just for my personal stuff, like, get the hell out of here with that.
Yeah.
All right. But that's it. All right. And hopefully we never talk about the Bananas again. But I had to bring it up.
I mean, yeah.
It was relevant.
It was relevant
to what happened this weekend. So that's it. Anyway, is there anything you want to watch besides sports? Yes. I do. I do watch, some series depending on what it is. Lincoln Lawyer, one of my favorites. Night Agent, also another good one. Currently watching 24. I've been watching 24, rewatching it. I want to say for like 4 months. Like there's just so many episodes. I'm on season 7. I do get around for that. So it has to be a good series, Michael, and it can't be goofy. I don't like goofy things. I'm more of an action type of person. But yeah, if it is a good series, I will watch it. Absolutely. And the just be, poking the bear does not have fun. I mean, I think Tony can attest. I mean, I do know how to.
Oh yes,
I'm particular. I mean, that's what it is.
That's right, which is fine.
And then I don't care about Harry Potter, Michael. So stop commenting about it. All right. How about that? Be a little straightforward here.
Have you seen the movies though?
No.
Nope.
Don't care. That's it. Dumbledore can go fall out of a window, as far as I'm concerned. Okay. But
sounds like you've seen the movies.
No. Just when I was younger, obviously, I might have read a couple of the books, but
I might have.
What was I in second grade? Like, why are we talking about this, Michael? All right. Anyway, that's it. But good to be back. Big week ahead. Let's tomorrow get back on the winner's circle. And then Joshua says it's baseball fun, man. Just enjoy it for what it is. Stop comparing it to MLB. No, but see, again, Josh, I did just say Uncle Brian would go with the nephews, and I understand you with your daughters, they wanted to go. I'm sure you want to go. I get that stuff, but I'm saying other than that, why would it ever even be on my radar? I mean, it's a play, it's a musical. It's a gimmick. All right. So that's all. But anyway, great show today. Really appreciate everybody who tuned in and continues to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume merch at DowntimeTV.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.